if you have a strap, or if you don't have a strap, you can use a sweatshirt or a strap of a bag or something, or just anything else that you can use. We're going to end up strapping the foot. So have that handy that you can use. And then we'll just start out down on the back, centering for a few breaths. So come right on down onto your back and lie down. You can be in Shavasana with the legs extended, or if it feels better, maybe on your low back, to start with the feet planted. That's a great option as well, to just have the feet planted on your mat, but just lie flat, be in a comfortable position, and begin here with just dropping into the observation of your breath. So just noticing your breath. Notice if it's short, if it's choppy. Can you smooth it out a bit? And as you bring your attention, your awareness to the gentle observation of your breathing, expanding that awareness now perhaps to just the quality of your mind, observing the quality of your mind this morning. Is it maybe a little distracted, or is it agitated? Are you a little sleepy? Whatever it is, just observe what's coming up for you, and not to judge it, but just to notice. Observing the quality of your mind, dropping into the quality of your breath. And then take a nice deep breath, inhale, feel the breath come in, fill up the sides of the waist as you inhale, and then sip in a little bit more air when you get to the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Good. And then go ahead and grab onto your strap or towel or sweatshirt or whatever you can use to strap up the ball of your right foot. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot in both hands and have your left foot planted on your mat with the left knee pointing up towards the sky. And then just bend that right knee and bring it all the way in towards the chest. So nice and bent knee, bringing the knee in towards the chest. And then as you hold on to the strap, begin to start to move that right leg towards straight, but don't try to, the goal is not to get the leg towards straight. The goal instead is just to keep the angle of that right thigh in towards the chest. So keeping the angle of the right thigh past the 90-degree angle, and you're only moving from the knee to the ankle. So you may only get to about halfway straight, perhaps. Really flexing that foot, draw the outer edge, so the pinky toe side of the foot. See if you can draw that back at a faster rate than the big toe. Flexing the right foot as though you're standing on the ceiling, and then start to slide that left heel forward, extending the left leg as though you were standing up on that left foot. So flex the left toes, curl them back in towards you, and descend the left thigh bone down towards the mat. Good, and then hold on to your strap in your right hand. Take your left palm to the left thigh or the top of the left hip crease, whatever you can hold on to there, and start to take the right leg out towards the right. So as you take it out to the right, opening up to the side, do keep that left hip down. Good, another breath here. And then take an inhale to take it back up through center. Release the strap from the foot and just let that right leg float all the way down next to the left. And noticing maybe the right leg feels just a little bit longer than your left as it floats down. And then plant your right foot down on your mat. Take your strap around the ball of the left foot. Start out with just pulling the left knee in towards the chest. So you're getting the left knee in towards the chest. So past the 90-degree angle, and then begin to move the left leg towards straight. But again, keeping in mind, goal is not to get the leg to straight, especially early on in your practice. It likely will not be straight. Mine certainly is not. Probably about 2/3 of the way straight. Flexing that left foot as though you're standing on the ceiling. And then extend the right leg out on your mat. So slide the right heel forward. As you do, flex the right foot as though you're standing on that right foot. Curl the right toes back in towards you and descend the right thigh bone down towards the mat. So it's like your legs are moving in opposition from one another. It's like your legs are opening up like a pair of scissors as the right thigh descends down and the left knee comes in towards the chest. And then hold your strap in your left hand. Take your right palm to the right thigh or hip. And start to take the left leg out towards the left. So as you take it out towards the side, keeping that right hip down, keeping the right thigh descending down. Good. And then inhale to take it all the way out through center. And then exhale, release the strap from the foot. Let the left leg float all the way down next to the right. Then give your knees a hug in towards the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, massaging the low back. And then you can rock and roll on your spine a couple times if that feels good. Eventually rock your way all the way up onto your hands and knees to set yourself up for your first downward facing dog. So you walk the palms forward about 2 inches forward of the shoulders, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, make your way into downward facing dog. Arriving here in your first down dog, maybe alternate bending the knees or lifting the heels, feeling your way into the hamstrings. You're perhaps a little bit more open now than they otherwise usually are in your first down dog of the day. Good. From down dog, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back to a three-legged dog. So right toes point down towards your mat. And then exhale, tuck your right knee in towards your chest, shift forward, look forward, float the right foot between the hands to a lunge. Tap your left knee down on your mat into half Hanumanasana. So as you inhale, start to draw the hips back, move the right leg towards straight as the right toes curl back in towards you, flexing the right foot. Good. Exhale, bend your knee, shift forward again into the lunge. Again, flowing like that 2 more times. Inhale, draw the hips back. Leg does not have to come all the way to straight. Exhale, bend the right knee into your lunge. 1 more. Inhale, you draw the hips back, flexing the foot. Exhale, bend the knee, shift it forward into your lunge. Good. This time, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach the arms up into your low lunge, lifting the lower right side of the belly off of the top of the right thigh. Exhale, just take your arms back behind your back and interlace your fingers. Take an inhale, lift your chest, loop the shoulders back, reach the knuckles down towards the back left heel. Little lift in the upper part of your spine. Maybe the gaze lifts slightly. Good. And then release your interlaced hands. Take another inhale, reach them up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back left toes under, lift your left knee up off your mat. Inhale to step yourself back to a plank, high push-up position. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. From down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, tuck the left knee in towards the chest, round, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands to a lunge. Tap your right knee down on your mat. Inhale, half Hanumanasana. You draw the hips back, flex the left toes, curling the left toes back in towards you. Exhale, bend the knee, shift forward again. So we're just moving back and forth, flowing a few times. Inhale, draw the hips back, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, shift it back forward into your lunge. 1 more. Inhale, you draw the hips back and straighten. Exhale, shift back forward into your lunge. Good. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Reach the arms up. As you reach the arms up, lift the lower left side of the belly off of the top of the left thigh. Exhale, arms back behind your back and interlace your fingers. Inhale to lift the chest, loop your shoulders back, reach the knuckles down towards that back right heel. Just take another breath here, hold, little lift of the chest. Good. Release your interlaced hands. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back right toes under, lift your right knee up off your mat. Keep your hips steady as you inhale, step yourself back to a plank, high push-up position. Okay, this time, exhale, just tap your knees down on your mat and lower halfway, chaturanga, elbows stay in as you lower. Inhale, press yourself straight back up. Exhale, lift your hips all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Good. From your down dog, take an inhale, lift your heels up nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step yourself up to the front of your mat, feet hips width distance apart. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, tuck the chin, soften in. Fold here for a few breaths. Do keep a nice soft bend in your knees. And then go ahead and take the arms back behind your back and interlace your fingers. Let your interlaced hands come up overhead. Let your head and neck release. Gazing back between the knees. Bending the knees as much as you need to feel the chest coming down towards the tops of the thighs. Maybe sway the torso out a little bit from side to side. That can feel good here. Good. Release your interlaced hands. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen, slide your palms up your shins. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Tuck the chin all the way in. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms. Take it all the way up to standing. Reach up taller when you get to the top. And exhale your hands together at your heart. Good. And then if you're playing the playlist, you can go ahead and press play now. That's Zoom 19. It is in the chat. Good. Give you a moment to get that set up, and then go ahead and bring your big toes together, your heels slightly apart, setting yourself up for your first Surya Namaskara A. As you inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, dive down out over your legs. Inhale, half lift, you lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step yourself back to plank and lower your chaturanga, upper arms lower so they're parallel with the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog, your choice. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog. So as you find yourself in your down dog, really spread your fingers here and then root down the outer edges of your palms. So find the palms pressing down. And as you press into the palms, you feel yourself shifting your weight more from your hands, from your arms, into your feet, into your legs. Your sitting bones are reaching up and back towards the sky. Okay, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees and look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine, chest, collarbone broad. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms, reach it all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, just like that. Inhale, Surya A, reaching up, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down out over your legs. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank, lower your chaturanga. Inhale, pressing through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog. Okay, so your ears are about in line with your upper arm bones. The crown of the head is extending towards your fingertips. Notice if you're dropping into your lower ribs, if your lower rib cage is kind of poking out, and can you gather the lower rib cage in? Good, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, you lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin. Press into your feet. Inhale, circle the arms, reach it all the way up to standing. Exhale your hands to your heart. One more, inhale, reaching up, gazing up. Exhale, forward fold, dive down out over your legs. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank, lower your chaturanga, knees can be lifted or down. Inhale, pressing through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Good, from down dog, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog, right toes point down. Exhale, right knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands. Tap your back left knee down on your mat. Inhale, half Hanumanasana, just one time, draw your hips back, curl the right toes back in towards you. Exhale, shift forward, bend the right knee back into your lunge. Tuck your back left toes under on your mat if they're not already. As you inhale, reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana. We've been here before. Exhale, take your arms back behind your back and interlace your fingers. Good, this time as you inhale to lift the chest and reach the knuckles down, press back through the left heel to lift your left knee up off your mat. So you're coming into crescent lunge. And then as you find yourself in crescent lunge with the hands interlaced behind your back, draw the right outer hip back. Feel the left frontal hip point coming forward. Reach the knuckles back towards that back left heel. Lengthen your tailbone away from your lower back. Good. Release your interlaced hands. Take an inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down to frame your front foot. Inhale to step yourself back to a plank, high push-up position. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, from down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the left foot between the hands, lunge. Tap your right knee down on your mat. Inhale, half Hanumanasana. Draw your hips back, curl the left toes back in towards you, move the left leg towards straight. Exhale, bend the knees, shift back forward into your lunge. Tuck the back toes under if they're not already, right toes tucked under. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Lift the left side of the rib cage off of the top of the thigh. Take your arms back behind your back, interlace your fingers, put a bend in the elbows. And then as you inhale, press back through the right heel, lift the right knee up off your mat. At the same time, reach the knuckles back towards that back right heel. You're making your way into crescent. So we're starting to fire up the legs a bit here. Drawing the left outer hip back as the right frontal hip point draws forward. Take one more breath here, feeling a little lift in the chest. Good, and then release your interlaced hands. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Inhale to step yourself back to a plank, high push-up position. Exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin. Inhale, press into your feet, circle the arms, reach it all the way up to standing. And exhale your hands together at your heart. Good, inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees, sink your hips, sit back into your chair pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or float back, cycle through your Chaturanga. Inhale, pressing through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward between your hands right away. Ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, take the arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your chest, loop your shoulders up and back, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, dive forward, humble warrior. Bring the right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. Press into your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms up right away, warrior one. Exhale, float the palms down, step back to plank, cycle through your Chaturanga, or you skip it and go straight to down dog. Skipping the Chaturangas is always an option. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale to downward facing. Left foot steps forward. Ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, the arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, take the arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift the chest, loop your shoulders back. Exhale, dive forward, humble warrior, left shoulder to the inside of the left knee. Inhale, release your interlace, reach the arms, sweep it up, warrior one. Exhale, slow down, cycle through your half vinyasa, Chaturanga, or straight to down dog. Cycling through, moving with your breath, breathing with your movement. We all meet up in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Checking in with the quality of your breathing. Long, slow, steady, and deep breaths. Okay, take an inhale to lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, tuck the chin, soften it in. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, swim the arms all the way to standing. Again, just like that. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, sink the hips. Exhale, Uttanasana, up and over, you fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift, chest is collarbone broad. Exhale, step back, cycle through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, take the arms back behind you, interlace. Inhale, lift the chest, loop your shoulders. Exhale, dive forward, humble warrior. Inhale, press into the outer edge of the back foot as you reach up, warrior one. Exhale, float it back down, step back to plank or skip it straight to down dog. Cycling through the up dog if you took the Chaturanga. Exhale to down dog, step your left foot forward, ground and turn out the back heel. Inhale, the arms reach up, warrior one. Exhale, take the arms back behind you, interlace. Inhale, lift the chest, loop your shoulders. Exhale, dive it forward, humble warrior. Press into the outer edge of the back right foot as you inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, float back down, step back and lower, chaturanga, or you skip it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arrive in down dog. Check in with where you're at. Check in with the quality of your breath. Check in with the energy level today. I'm going to give two options. Option one, depending on where you're at today, is to take child's pose for the next few breaths. Option two, if maybe you're feeling a little more energetic today, is we're going to take Vashisthasana. So if you're skipping Vashisthasana, you stay in child's pose and we'll meet up after. If you're taking Vashisthasana, bring your feet together. Start to inhale, shift yourself forward, roll out to a plank with the feet together. Roll over onto the outer edge of your right foot with the left foot stacked on top of the right, and then reach your left arm up towards the sky. Finding Vashisthasana, lift up on that underneath right side. You're reaching the left arm strong up towards the sky. Check in that the left frontal hip point is staying pointing right towards the side instead of opening up towards the sky. Imagine like you were standing on the wall behind you with your feet, so flex the outer edges of your feet. Good, come back through center, lower the left palm down right into the other side, come through center, roll over onto the outer edge of your left foot, reach the right arm up towards the sky, Vashisthasana. Lengthen your tailbone away from your lower back. Reach your sitting bones back towards your heels. Flex your feet as though you were standing on the wall behind you. Keep reaching up on that underneath left side. One more breath here, inhale. Exhale, release, plant that right palm down. If you want the chaturanga, you can open up your feet and take it. I don't usually take a chaturanga after Vashisthasana, but some people want it. Take it if you want it. If you don't, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. If you've been in child's pose, come on up and meet us in downward facing dog. Everyone in down dog, let's take a nice cleansing breath here. Take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Okay, take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands, lunge. Ground and turn out your back heel. So setting up for warrior two here. So front heel is in line with the back arch of the foot. Press into your feet and cartwheel the arms up to take it up into warrior two. So find yourself in warrior two. We'll be here for a few breaths. So if you find your warrior two, check in that that right knee is tracking right over the ankle. And then check in that the knee is drawing back just about over the second toe. As you do that, can you feel as though you're directing the right sitting bone back towards your left heel? Good. And then feel your shoulders stacking right up over your hips. So a lot of times tendency is to kind of lean forward in this pose. So put a little extra reach through those back left fingertips so that you can feel your shoulders right up on top of your hips. And relax your shoulders down. Take a few moments here again, observing the quality of your breath. Observing the quality of your mind, what's coming up for you in this moment as you hold this pose. Good. We start to make our way into triangle. You're going to press into the right big toe mound to start to move the right leg towards straight, lift up on the right kneecap. Swivel your right hip back, reach out, lengthen forward through those right fingertips. Take it down into triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. If you have a block to the outside of the shin is a great idea. If you don't have a block, you could press the palm gently into the shin, but just be careful not to hyperextend that front right leg. And then as you reach the left arm up towards the sky, keep the left palm just slightly inside of the left shoulder. And feel as though you're leaning back into your shoulder blades, taking a few breaths here. Good. Take that left arm, reach it up over the ear so that your left fingertips are reaching towards the front of the room. And then as you find the arm reaching up over the ear, can you roll that lower right side of the rib cage around towards the side a little bit more? Like you were lifting up and under that top arm. Good. Bring your gaze down towards the front right foot. Take your left hand to your left hip. Make your way into Ardha Chandrasana. If you have a block, you can take that with you. Bend your right standing leg. step the back left foot in about half the distance. Start to get light on those back left toes as the left leg floats up to hip level. The outer edge of the left foot is pressing up towards the sky as though it's holding up the ceiling. Stack your left hip on top of your right, and maybe once balance feels okay, you reach that left arm up towards the sky. Good. So you might fall out of this, right? And that's okay. Just testing your balance. Balance will be different day to day as well. Especially I've found in my home, the floor is not level. So that tends to throw off my balance as well. So all different variables, and not to judge it, but just to observe where you're at today. Bring your gaze down towards the bottom right palm. Start to bend your right standing leg. Reach your left toes back quietly as you can. Land down, warrior two. Reverse your warrior just for a breath. Drop the back left arm down. Flip the right palm up towards the sky. Inhale. Cartwheel the arms up and over. Cycle through. As always, if you want the chaturanga, you take it. If it's not serving you, you skip it. Step straight to down dog. Cycling through the chaturanga. If you took it, we all meet up in downward facing dog. Good. From your down dog, let's take an inhale. Reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee in towards the chest. Shift forward, look forward. Float the left foot between the hands. Ground and turn out your back heel, setting up for warrior two, so front heel is in line with back arch. Cartwheel the arms, take it up, find your warrior two. So as you find warrior two on this side, again, do all of those little checks. Check in that that left knee is tracking right over the ankle. Check in that you can see about your first two toes. Feel the shoulders stacking out over the hips. Can you lengthen your tailbone more away from your lower back? Relax the shoulders down and then just be here for a few moments in this pose. So we give all of these alignment cues, right? Not to obsess over every little detail, but to keep ourselves safe in the body. And also to just use it as a vehicle for self-inquiry, for those little habits of our bodies, of our minds, to be able to notice so that we can respond accordingly. Okay, let's start to make our way into triangle. So press down into that left big toe mound as you lift up on the left kneecap to move the left leg towards straight. Swivel your left hip back, reach out, lengthen through your left fingertips, and then take the left palm down to a block at the outside of the left shin. Or if you don't have a block, the palm can press gently into the shin. Reach your right arm straight up towards the sky. Imagine like your two arms are one long arm. So feel that line of energy all the way up through the right fingertips, extending up from the bottom left fingertips. Good, and then reach the right arm up over the ear so your right fingertips are reaching towards the front of the room. And then as you do that, can you feel like you're spinning your chest more onto the side, like it's spinning up and under that top right arm? Good, beautiful. And then bring your gaze down towards the bottom left foot. Take the right hand to your right hip. Bend your front left knee. Start to make your way into Ardha Chandrasana. Take your block with you about a foot out in front. Get light on the back toes, lifting that right leg up to hip level. So the right hip stacks on top of the left. You're on your side here, outer edge of the right foot pressing up towards the sky. If balance is a little off, you can find a steady gaze point out on the floor in front of you and stare at that. Then maybe reach that right arm up towards the sky. Lengthen your tailbone away from your lower back more. If balance feels pretty solid, maybe your gaze comes up towards that top right palm. Good. If your gaze is lifted, bring your gaze back down towards the floor. Start to bend your left standing leg, reach your right toes back, land down, warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior, lift it up and over. Cartwheel the arms, take it through, your choice, always cycling through the chaturanga if you want it, skipping it, going straight to down dog. We all meet up in downward facing dog. Okay, and then once you get to down dog, let's take a breath here just to collect our energy. Take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose. And open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Okay, let's take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands. Lunge. Good. Tap your back knee down on your mat. Inhale, half Hanumanasana, draw the hips back, start to move that right leg towards straight. Exhale, bend the right knee, shift forward again into your lunge. Good. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, you reach the arms up, have your back left toes tucked under if they're not already. Exhale, take the arms back behind your back. Inhale, as you interlace the hands, lift your back left knee up off your mat, find yourself in crescent with the hands interlaced. Good, so take a couple breaths here. So your feet in crescent pose should be about hips width distance apart. Draw the right outer hip back as your left frontal hip point comes forward. And then from here, you're gonna keep everything in the pelvis exactly the same, but just put a little bend in your back left knee as though the knee were going to tap the floor, but it's just hovering. And then press back through the left heel to press the left leg a little straighter, but keep your pelvis exactly as it is. Good, exhale again, little bend in the knee or just isolating. Inhale, press the leg towards straight. One more, exhale, little bend, keep pressing firmly into the front part of your right heel. Good, press back, straighten the leg. Good, take an inhale, release your interlace, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, take the hands down to frame that front foot. Good, we're gonna step into pyramid pose. So you're gonna press off the back toes to step in and ground and turn out the back heel. So your back left toes are pointing towards the top left corner of your mat. Right toes are still pointing forward. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine here. Exhale, press into your feet, take your hands to your hips. Inhale, draw yourself all the way up with a straight spine. So check in once you get to your pyramid pose. Feet are about 2-3 feet apart. Right toes pointing forward, left toes pointing towards the top left corner of your mat, and both frontal hip points are squared off towards the front of the room. Good, and then take your arms back behind your back and interlace your fingers. Take an inhale, loop the shoulders back, reach the knuckles down towards that back left heel. And then as you exhale, we're gonna start to fold forward, but we're only gonna come to halfway. So you're finding a flat spine here. So finding a sort of a tabletop position with your spine, lengthen forward through the crown of your head, reach the knuckles back in opposition towards the back of the room. And then you can stay here at this halfway point, or now if you want to start to take it deeper, keep lifting up on the left kneecap as you start to fold forward more out over that front right leg. As you fold forward, you can let the arms come up overhead. You can release the head and neck, gazing towards the back of the room. Good. Take an inhale, start to lift up again halfway, lengthen forward through the crown of your head, reach the knuckles back. Start to put a bend in your front right knee. We're coming into warrior three with the hands interlaced. So you shift all of your weight into that front right foot. Start to get light on the back left toes. Slowly, carefully float the left leg up to hip level. Left toes pointing down towards your mat. We're not here for too long. Gather your lower ribs in. Release your interlaced hands, airplane the arms out. Coming up to standing, bend in your right standing leg. Scoop the left knee all the way up and underneath you. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Made it up to standing. A few more breaths on that right standing leg. So you're gonna come into a balanced pose from here. So option one is going to be to keep the knee bent and keep the left hand at the front of the left knee or shin and take your right hand to your hip. Option two, if you want to take the big toe, you grab onto your left big toe with your middle index finger and thumb, and then you extend the left leg out in front of you. So either option, wherever you're going, stay with the knee bent or extend the leg. Take a few breaths here at the front. Find that steady gaze point out in front of you. Anything not moving, stare at it. Good. Lift the left leg or the knee a little bit higher, and then take the left leg out towards the side. Just as we did when we were down on our mats, lying down on your back with your strap. Good. Direct that left sitting bone down towards the floor. Check in if that left hip is lifting. Check in that you're still breathing. Good. Take the leg back through center. If you have the knee bent, go ahead and release the hand from the foot and just extend the leg out in front of you. Everyone reach your arms up towards the sky. Keep the leg lifted. Take a breath. Good. And then release, lower it down. Shake the legs out. Let that go. Wash it off. Bring your big toes together. Heels slightly apart. Press your palms together. Close your eyes. Take a breath here. Just take a moment. Good. Second side. Inhale, vinyasa. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Dive down out over your legs. Inhale, half lift. You lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank, cycle through chaturanga, or skip it, come straight to down dog. So it's always your choice. You discern what it is you need in this practice in terms of the chaturangas, in terms of your energy level. Good. From down dog, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the foot between the hands to your lunge. Tap your right knee down on your mat. Inhale, half Hanumanasana, draw the hips back. Exhale, we shift back forward into the lunge. Right toes are tucked under. Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, take the arms back behind you and interlace. Inhale as you reach the knuckles down, lift your left knee up off of your mat, crescent, your right knee, up off of your mat, crescent pose. Good, so find yourself in crescent pose. And then we're gonna isolate that back knee again. So you put a little bend in the back right knee. And then as you inhale, press back through the right heel to move the right leg towards straight. Try to keep your pelvis absolutely level. Exhale again, little bend. Inhale, press the leg towards straight. Good, just one more. Exhale, little bend. Inhale, press the leg towards straight. Good, release your interlaced hands, reach the arms up towards the sky. Keep pressing into the front part of that left heel. Exhale, take your hands down to frame your front foot. Good, press into that pyramid pose. So press off the back toes, ground and turn out your back heel. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. And inhale, draw yourself all the way up with a straight spine. Take a moment, orient yourself here in your pyramid pose. Both frontal hip points pointing towards the front of your mat. Good, and then we'll take the arms back behind the back to interlace once again. And you might this time check in, maybe try to switch your interlace so that the opposite thumb, opposite pinky finger is on the outside when you interlace. So it should kind of feel awkward, so switch the interlace to the awkward way. And then take an inhale, lift your chest, loop the knuckles down towards the floor, a little lift in the upper part of your spine. And as you exhale, we take it down to that halfway tabletop forward fold. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head, find a flat spine. Keep reaching the knuckles towards the back of the room at the same time, extending forward through the crown of the head. You can stay here at halfway, or you can start to go deeper and let the arms come up overhead. Let your head and neck release. Gazing back towards the back of the room. Do try to keep some length in your spine though. So even as you release the head and neck, try to keep the length in the upper part of your spine. Good. Take an inhale. Let's lift it up to halfway again. Lengthen forward through the crown of your head. Making your way into warrior three. You bend your left standing leg, or just shift all of your weight into that left foot. Get light on your right toes as the right leg floats up off your mat to hips level. Spin the right toes down towards the mat. Gather your lower ribs in. Good. Release your interlaced hands. Airplane the arms out. Just one more breath. Now start to make your way up to standing. Scoop the right knee up and underneath you. Come up to stand. Hug that right knee in towards the chest. Good. Find your steady gaze point. Anything not moving out in front of you and stare at it. If you're staying with the hand to the knee, you keep the right palm at the right knee. You take your left hand to your left hip. If you're extending the leg, you grab onto your big toe with your right middle finger and thumb. Extend the right leg out in front of you. Good. Take an inhale here. Lift the leg or the knee up a little bit higher. As you exhale, take it out towards the side. Good. Spin that right sit bone down towards the floor. Check in if your right hip, your right sitting bone is lifted. Keep directing it down towards your mat. Good. Take an inhale, take it back through center. Release the hand from the foot or the hand from the knee. Extend the leg out if you had the knee bent. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take just one breath. Exhale, release. Take it down. Shake the legs out. shake the arms out, let that go. I'm gonna take a forward fold. So go ahead and open your feet out so that they're hips width distance apart. And take your hands to your hips, take an inhale, little lift in the upper part of your spine. And as you exhale, start to fold forward. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees as you fold forward. I like to keep my knees bent as I come into forward folds and then move them towards straight. Grab onto your big toes with your middle index finger and thumb. Take an inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, forward fold, bend the elbows out towards the sides, folding out over your legs. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Maybe shake your head out a little bit from side to side. Good. Release your hands from your big toes. Take an inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Again, just tuck the chin, soften it in. And inhale one more time, half lift, lengthen. This time, exhale, plant your palms down, step back to plank, cycle through chaturanga, or skip it straight to down dog. So lots of chaturangas in a vinyasa class. Always feel free to skip them. Meet up in downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Good. Exhale, shift the right foot forward between the hands to a lunge. Good. And then from your lunge, we're going to come into a simple twist. So plant your left palm down on your mat. Take your right palm to your right knee. And start to press the right palm into the right knee as you stack your right shoulder up over the left. Good. And you can reach that right arm up towards the sky. I'm going to give an option today. You can stay here. Option 1 is to stay right here in the twist. Option 2 is to grab onto your big toe with your right middle index finger and thumb. Roll over onto the outer edge of the left foot and start to heel to the right foot back to come into a Vashisthasana variation. Option 2 is to just lift that right foot up off your mat, staying here in this variation of Vashisthasana. Option 3 is maybe to extend the right leg all the way up towards the sky into the full variation. So 3 different options, totally valid to stay in the twist, to stay in the first option. Choose where you're at today. Take one more breath wherever you are. Good. If you have the foot or the big toe, release it. Everyone plant that right palm down to your mat. Take an inhale to step yourself back to a plank. Exhale to lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee in towards the chest, float the foot forward between the hands, lunge. Come into your twist, left palm to the left knee, stack the left shoulder on top of the right. Opening up into your twist. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Choose if you are going to stay here, or if you're coming into a Vashisthasana variation, grab onto your left big toe, middle index finger and thumb. Roll over onto the outer edge of your back right foot. Start to heel to the left foot down about a third of the way down your mat. Then maybe see if you can lift that left foot up off your mat. Maybe you stay with the knee bent, or maybe you extend it all the way up towards the sky. So all different options. You choose the one that works for you today. Good. One more breath wherever you are. Beautiful. If the foot is lifted, lower it down. If you're in the twist, everyone plant that left palm down to your mat. Take an inhale, step yourself back to plank, high push-up. If you want the chaturanga after that, you take it. I would probably skip it at this point, but you take it if you want it. Cycling through your chaturanga, up dog, down dog. We all meet up in downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Good. Take an inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Good. Exhale, float the right foot forward between the hands to a lunge and tap your back knee down on your mat. So we've been setting up for Hanumanasana today. So we're going to start to move into Hanumanasana. So a few options here. If you have blocks, you can take blocks underneath your palms for this. That's a great idea. And we'll start out with half Hanumanasana as we've been doing all class. So you'll draw your hips back, start to move that right leg towards straight. flexing the right toes. So the more you walk your palms back in towards you, the more you'll be able to lift up and get length in your spine. And then you can keep that length and start to fold from here, staying with half Hanumanasana. Or if you want to start to move towards full Hanumanasana, you start to just slide that left knee back with the left toes tucked under, and then you start to slide that right heel forward, keeping both frontal hip points pointing towards the front of your mat. And then again, perhaps if you have a block, you can take a block underneath that front right thigh once you get to a point that's a good level for you if you're up off of the floor. Good, so working towards your edge, wherever that means for you. So you might be in half Hanumanasana still, you might be working towards full, just working with your edge. Relax the shoulders down wherever you are. Good. And then start to lift yourself up. If you're in full Hanumanasana, you'll slide that front right knee back. If you're in half, you'll bend your right knee to shift back forward into a lunge. And then step yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. And again, as you step back to down dog, notice for a second how that right leg feels. Does the right leg maybe feel a little bit more open than that left hamstring? And coming into the left side, take an inhale, reach your left leg up and back. And exhale your left knee in towards the chest, shift forward, look forward, float the left foot between the hands to your lunge. Tap your back knee down on your mat. Start to make your way into that half Hanumanasana. Again, if you have blocks, I recommend using them underneath the palms. You draw the left outer hip back, right frontal hip point draws forward. And then you start to fold from here. Again, keeping the length in your spine as you fold. You want to imagine like you could tap the tip of your nose to your big toe. So that'll help you keep length in the upper part of your spine instead of rounding the chest in and just tucking the pelvis under. You want to keep that length in your spine. If you're staying with half Hanumanasana, you can stay here. If you're starting to move towards full, you slide the left heel forward, you tuck the right toes under and start to slide the right knee back. You find a spot that's a good level for you that's playing around your edge. So you push to that edge and then you back up slightly from that so you can be in a place where you can breathe well in the pose, where you're not holding too much tension in your shoulders. Relax the shoulders down. This can be one of those poses we can really try to muscle into too much, and that tension can sometimes manifest in the jaw. Maybe try to relax your jaw, relax the shoulders. Take another breath or two here. Good, and then take your time, start to make your way up. If you're in half Hanumanasana, you'll slide that left heel back and bend the knee into the lunge. Make your way, however you choose to get there, into downward facing dog. Find yourself in down dog. Take a nice deep inhale, fill up through your nose, and open your mouth. Exhale, sigh it out. Good, and then just come down onto a seat on your mat. And we'll make our way all the way down onto our backs, set up for just 2 back bends here today, 2 bridge poses. So set up with your feet planted, hips width distance apart, your knees pointing up towards the sky. Take your arms by your sides with your palms pressing down. Start to lengthen your knees forward as you lift your hips right up off your mat. Good. And then today we've done a lot of interlacing, so you can take that variation in your bridge pose, interlace the fingers back behind your back, roll the shoulders underneath you. So you're rolling over onto the upper outer edges of your shoulders. See if that helps you find more of a lift in your sternum. The sternum is lifting towards the chin. Chin is tucked in towards the sternum. Okay, and one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower. Take it all the way down to your mat. Take a moment here on your mat as you come down. Last bridge pose. Lengthen your knees forward. Start to lift your hips up off your mat. Okay, take whatever arm variation you like. Again, interlacing might feel good. And then as you take the interlace behind, then you can kind of roll your shoulders, the upper outer edges of your shoulders underneath you to find more of a lift in your chest and in your sternum. Okay, take one more breath here. And then exhale, slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down to your mat. And just settle here for a moment. You can take your palms to your belly, or one palm to your belly, one palm to your heart. Let the effects of those back bends in this practice just settle for a moment before we release the back bend. And then from down on your back, grab onto your strap. Hopefully it's still handy for you. And you're just going to take your strap around the balls of the feet. So both feet together, take the strap around the balls of the feet and just extend the legs up towards the sky. So have your ankles right in line with your hips and hold on wherever you need to hold on to on the strap. So this is kind of like a sort of restorative forward fold here. So instead of sitting up, taking a forward fold, we're releasing that back bend by using the strap. And you're also getting to drain the legs here, reverse the blood flow a bit. Feel the backs of the shoulders relaxing down on your mat. Draw the outer edges of the feet back in towards you. Imagine as though you're standing up on the ceiling. Good. And then just bend your knees in towards the chest. Release your strap from your feet. Hug your knees in towards the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, massaging the lower back. And come into a figure four on the right side. Cross your right ankle over your left knee and pull the left knee in towards the chest. And keep the right foot flexed so that your right toes are curling back towards the right knee. Again, relaxing your shoulders here, relaxing the back crown of the head. You can close your eyes here, directing your attention back to the breath, back to the sensation in that outer right hip. Good. And then release your interlaced hands and just plant that left foot down on your mat. Cross your right knee over your left. Lift your hips to swivel them slightly over to the right and lower your knees over to the left. Coming into a twist down on your back. You can cactus arm out that right arm, gaze out over the right shoulder. Let the belly be soft. Really feel yourself twisting from the sides of the waist. Good. And then make your way back to center. You can extend that right leg up towards the sky for a breath if that feels good. Maybe roll out the ankle. And plant your right foot down on your mat. And come into your figure four on the left side. So cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You can interlace the fingers and hug that right knee in towards the chest. Keeping the left foot flexed so that the left toes are curling back towards the left knee. Observing the quality of your breath, observing the quality of your mind, trying to stay just fully present with just this breath coming in here and just this breath flowing out, paying attention to the sensation in the outer left hip. And then lower that right foot down onto your mat, cross your left knee over your right. Lift your hips slightly over to the left and lower your knees over to the right. Cactus arm that left arm out to the side, gaze out over your left shoulder. Let your eyelids perhaps go heavy here, closing the eyes. And then make your way back to center. And you can extend that left leg up towards the sky for a breath if it feels good. Roll out the ankle a little bit. One last time, maybe you hug both knees in towards the chest. And when you're ready, making your way into Shavasana, your final resting pose. As you set up for your Shavasana, move any props, move anything out of your way. Let your legs be open as wide as feels comfortable and natural. Let your arms be by your sides. With your palms facing up towards the sky so there's nothing touching your fingertips. And let your feet flop open. Relax the roots of your thumbs. As you settle down here on your back, take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, fill up through your nose. Sip in a little bit more air when you get to the top. And then open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And with that exhale, let the weight of your body go heavy down on the mat. Feel yourself surrendering a little bit more into the floor with each effortless exhale you let out. And for these few moments of your day, just be right here as you are, feeling whole, complete in this moment. Shavasana. And then start to take a few deep breaths. And feel the breath come in, fill up, expand as you inhale. Feel the belly button fall towards the spine as you exhale. And roll out your wrists or your ankles, bringing some movement back in. Eventually reach the arms out overhead. Vote with the first stretch of your day. Nice deep inhale as you reach out, and as you exhale, just drop in and go heavy on your mat. And then bend your knees to roll over onto your right side. And keeping your eyelids gently closed, press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And you find yourself in a seat, take a moment here. Sit really tall through your spine. Lengthen up through the crown of your head, root down to your sitting bones. And take your palms together at your heart. Keep the length in your spine, but just tuck your chin, bow your head down for a moment in gratitude for this day. And then slowly open your eyes. Namaste.